Tonight on CTV, what Fort Collins is doing to increase housing opportunities. Then, learn how businesses are finally moving towards less restrictions.
Also, learn the latest on the Donthe Lucas trial and more about the upcoming ASCSU elections.
That's tonight on CTV Channel 11.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Weston Hubbard.
And I am Kenneth Frederick.
If you've been keeping up with Thursday night news here at CTV, we've been covering all the updates from the Donthe Lucas case. On Tuesday, scared neighbors took the stand and revealed some details that you will not want to miss. By now, you have definitely heard the name Donthe Lucas, a man on trial for murder after his pregnant girlfriend, Kelsey Schelling, disappeared. The trial has been going on for weeks, after years of waiting since his arrest in 2013. After hiatus due to COVID exposure, the trial started back up last week. New people took the stand to testify against Lucas, including Mercedes Woods, a former neighbor of Lucas's. She lived with her mother as a teenager at the time of Schelling's disappearance and was active in the searches to help find Schelling. She reports that Lucas approached the family at their house about their efforts and was quoted as saying, quote, "I can honestly say I was scared at the time, that my mother was going to be assaulted." Prosecutors turned to a soil expert from CSU, Eugene Kelly, after they collected a dirt sample from Schelling's car. The dirt appears to be native to an area west and southwest of Pueblo, not the Denver area where Schelling resided. Other information came out, such as a palm print in Schelling's car was unable to be identified, as well as a white stain found in the trunk. Also, an iPhone that could be a relation to the case was attempted to be unlocked back in 2017, but no such luck was found. Adding to top on top of all this new information, another witness, Roxanne Martinez, was gunned down and killed yesterday before she would have been able to testify. Christine Downs, a spokesperson for the Denver Police Department, said it didn't appear there was any immediate danger to the community, and also it appeared that this was unrelated to the trial, to the dismay of many friends and family. This trial is turning out to be one that will keep those involved wondering to the absolute end what will happen. Stay tuned to CTV as we continue to keep you updated. As this case continues on, we will make sure to update you and keep you up to date with any single new information we get within this trial.
The Wells Fargo Bank on East Harmony Road in South Fort Collins was robbed on Tuesday afternoon. The suspect was an athletic man with a 5.5-foot slender build. He entered the bank claiming to be armed and demanded money. He then made off with an undisclosed amount of cash. No one was hurt during the robbery, but Criminal Investigations Unit Lieutenant Jared Kinsman said that incidents like these can have lasting impacts on victims and witnesses alike. Fort Collins police are investigating the crime alongside the FBI. Anyone who has information on or has seen the suspect are asked to contact Detective Brian Vogel at 970-416-2392.
Continuing on with the law enforcement talk, law enforcement responded to a disturbance on Wednesday, March 3rd in an East Fort Collins hotel, the Clarion Inn. The details as of right now that are available are that 3 people appear to have been injured in the ordeal, with one being treated on the site, but the other 2 were so serious they had to be taken to the hospital with reported life-threatening injuries. Other than that, the details are scarce. However, the sheriff's office has reported that as of right now, there appears to be no threat to the Fort Collins public. The investigation is ongoing, and we will update you here at CTV with any new information that is revealed.
Thanks to the COVID vaccination rate of 70-year-olds and older hitting a mark of 70% last week, Larimer County's Level Up program is able to allow businesses to operate under blue level restrictions. Restaurants registered with the program are now able to operate at a capacity with up to 175 people. Last calls at bars will be pushed back to midnight, and any other businesses will be able to operate at 50% capacity, and outdoor events can have up to 250 people. Larimer County in general won't operate under blue level restrictions until our case rate per 100,000 people is less than 100. Hospitalization rates will also need to show a decrease over a longer period of time. Until then, businesses that wish to operate at 50% capacity will have to register with the county's Level Up program.
I think it's crazy that we're coming up on a year of all of this. Like, it's just wild.
I know. I was looking at the Snapchat memories of like a year ago. We were just moving out of the dorms like a few weeks ago. So it's crazy to see businesses just starting to like open back up to halfway.
And for sure. Larimer County's most wanted man was arrested at 10 in the morning on Tuesday, March 2nd. Andrew Robert Turner, age 32, was announced as Larimer County's most wanted man in January of 2020 after escaping from conviction when being charged with the possession of a controlled substance, DUI, second-degree vehicle theft, vehicular looting, and forgery. He is arrested on new charges including secondary criminal trespassing, unlawful possession of meth, resisting arrest, and obstructing a peace offer. Turner made an appearance in the Judicial District Court at 8 this morning on March 4th.
Health and housing. They're two issues that you may not think go hand in hand, but they do. Fort Collins City Council is working to prove that better opportunities for housing lead to better health outcomes for the community. The council is planning on spending a little under $400,000 of the almost $800,000 that was given to the city in 2020. The link between housing and health can be found in a study that the city conducted in 2016, where they found that those below the federal poverty line had a significant correlation of diabetes cases and increased blood pressure that respondents said was caused by worrying about housing security and affordable housing. The funding from Home to Health goes towards many different city functions, like incentives for developers and funding of organizations like Family Leadership Training Institute.
That's all we have for right now, but stick around, Rams, because we have your local weather with Morgan Gardner up next.
That's here on CTV.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Good evening, Rams. My name is Morgan Gardner, and I'm delivering the weather for you tonight. So, as you can see here, we have a little bit of a graphic showing the rain that randomly came in today. Hit it about 12 p.m. This afternoon, and luckily went away. But now we're sitting at a nice 44 degrees, nice and cloudy. A little bit of wind, but nothing too insane for the night. And as we go into our overnight lows, you can see that along I-25 we're sitting about 30s and low 40s, and along the west corridor we're seeing Grand Junction sitting at 27, Craig with 15 degrees, and Vail at 27. Going along the eastern side, we can see that in Burlington it's going to be about 40 degrees up in Larimer. And going into tomorrow's forecast, tomorrow's highs, we're going to be seeing a lot more of what we saw today. Highs in the 50s, sitting nice at 59 degrees in Fort Collins, nice and sunny. In Grand Junction, we're going to be seeing 60 degrees, definitely the warmer location here in Colorado tomorrow. And, over here. And tomorrow's forecast, we're going to be sitting at a 59 degrees. Again, nice and sunny, no clouds, little bit of wind, really getting into the spring here. Sunset at 5:56 if you want to go ahead and check that out. But as we go into the 5-day forecast, we can see that it's going to be a lot of the same. We're going to be seeing a lot of sun over the week, sitting at 59 again for tomorrow, 60, 65, and 64 through the weekend and getting into Monday. A little bit of clouds, but really sunny. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for the sun. I'm a little tired of the snow, a little tired of the weird rain we got today. But with that, that is all the weather I have for you. Stick around after the break for more news.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Welcome back, Rams. There's more news to catch up on, so let's get right into it. Students have been struggling with their academics since the start of the pandemic. For those struggling students, CSU offers many tools and programs that they can use to get back on track with their schoolwork. One such program is CSU's annual U-Turn event, held today by the Institute of Learning and Teaching. The event has students take a self-assessment to identify the areas they struggle with and the ones they succeed in. Then they're paired with a navigator who helps them come up with a plan to get them back on the right track throughout the semester and beyond. Students feel that U-Turn is a great event for helping struggling students start to get back to where they need to be.
And help them structure their day so that they can get everything done that they need. Having that structure, I think, really helps students learn and study and accomplish what they need to accomplish to get good grades.
For more information on where you can find academic support at CSU, you can go to tilt.colostate.edu.
March, a time for warmer weather, more rain than snow, hopefully, and elections. This week, ASCSU will be campaigning for the next year with their electoral positions, such as the President, Vice President, and Speaker of the Senate positions. The debates for the candidates running these jobs will be on this Friday, March 5th, as well as you can expect a nice fireside chat. Tabling for the candidates is expected to take place between March 15th through March 26th. CTV will make sure to be covering as much of this election season as possible. Last semester, that's pretty much like all I covered, so I'm definitely excited to see what's going to come out of it.
No, I moderated the speaker debate last semester, and I'm excited to see what the candidates can come up with this semester.
Oh yeah, going to be interesting.
Well, from the ASCSU to the Poudre School District, at-home tests provided by Binix Now have been rolling out for free across the state since the start of March. However, the Poudre School District has opted out of the testing service. The district said that they felt there was already enough access to testing and didn't like the fact that results aren't submitted directly to the school district. The district is able to opt back into the testing service should they decide that it will be a better option for students and faculty.
Cool that they can opt back in. Some people don't have a choice to opt in and out of homelessness. And earlier this semester, we covered the court case of Adam Weimold, who had been found sleeping in the back of his car back in 2018 and received a ticket for it. Adam fought against the ticket and won the case, with the judge saying that it was unconstitutional to give him a ticket for it. City Council did talk about appealing that ruling, and they took a vote on it recently where they decided against the appealing in a ruling of 4-3. Mayor Wade Troxell was among one of the three that voted in favor of the case being appealed, stating that this case could bring up the question and debate of involuntary versus voluntary homelessness. The Eighth Amendment prohibits the state from punishing an involuntary act if it is the unavoidable consequence of one's status or being. Regardless, the case has not been appealed, and Adam Weimold will be ticketless for sleeping in his car.
NASA is moving from fixing problems in outer space to fixing problems in the troposphere. Kyle Horton, an assistant professor in the Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology at CSU, received a $780,000 award from NASA for co-authoring a study that aims to determine the effect of ecological traps on the migration of birds. These winged creatures are attracted to the lights of art installations around large cities, which creates detours in their migration patterns, ultimately increasing the likelihood that they won't reach their final destination. Through the award, Horton hopes that the continued use of radar databases will lend insight into what's happening to the migratory birds in the United States.
Your commute might take a little bit longer here as upcoming closure is planned for southbound Timberline Road from Harmony Road all the way to Timberline Drive. The road is planning to be worked on starting on Wednesday, March 3rd, so yesterday, with construction intermittently happening until Sunday of this week, March 7th. The expected hours of work are to be around 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., which means all the night owls and early risers are going to be the most likely affected. The closure is due to Xcel Energy having to replace a line that is normally inoperable on in order to allow for continuous work and the safety of all of those who are involved.
Well, Rams, that's all the news we have for you tonight.
But don't go anywhere. We got Brendon Fairbairn up next with the latest in sports on the Splits Season 2.
I am what hunger looks like in America.
I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
How's it going, Ram fans? Welcome back to your Thursday night sports show, The Blitz Season 2. Hosted by yours truly, Brendon Fairbairn. Tonight, we take a look at who Ram football head coach Steve Addazio announced as a starting quarterback heading into spring ball. And CSU men's basketball had a monster game against the New Mexico Lobos yesterday in their second to last game of the regular season. With that said, I have a lot for you all tonight, so let's jump right into it. With former Rams quarterback Patrick O'Brien heading up to the University of Washington as a graduate transfer, the Rams are left with 5 quarterbacks on the roster heading into the start of spring practice, and 4 of them are freshmen. Who's the only experienced guy in the QB room, you might ask? That honor goes to redshirt junior and former transfer from Temple, Todd CENTEIO, who was just announced as Coach Addazio's #1 signal caller heading in to the first round of offseason work. This makes perfect sense, given that fellow redshirt junior Justice McCoy is switching from quarterback to wide receiver, not to mention that CENTEIO already has a year of experience under his belt within this CSU's offense. And with the high amount of knowledge he brings to the table, head coach Steve Addazio has a lot of confidence in CENTEIO. Having this to say about the redshirt junior in a press conference earlier this week, I really measure the quarterback on the intangibles to me. You have to have it. Toddy has it. He's got that leadership. He's a guy you want to be around. He's super ultra competitive. Being a quarterback is about winning, and we believe Toddy has those intangibles to lead and win. The players know he does too. CENTEIO started the first game of last season for the Rams against Fresno State, showing off his dual threat ability with 104 yards through the air and an impressive 80 yards on the ground, before falling prey to an injury and forcing Patrick O'Brien into action. And speaking of signal callers who can use their legs, Ram football's brand new offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach John Budemeyer also had some high praise for his new QB, comparing number 7's throwing motion to one of the best in the game in Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson.
I mentioned it when I first saw him throw because the mechanics are so similar, but was to Russell. I had crossed paths with Russell when I was playing, and there was actually a lot of carryover with the upper body mechanics that I see to that. Certainly his demeanor when he plays, he has a lot of confidence, and he has an ability to extend plays.
Even with this positive buzz entering spring ball from his coaches and teammates, we'll have to see whether the veteran athlete can hold on to the starting quarterback job for the Rams heading into the fall, or if one of these talented youngsters can steal the show and be handed the keys to the offense heading into next season. And talking about stealing the show, last night junior forward Adam Thistlewood had a career-high 27 points against the New Mexico Lobos on 11 of 13 shooting, while sophomore guard David Roddy was 1 assist shy from another triple-double. Fueled by these standout performances, CSU beat the Lobos soundly 73-87, with Thistlewood's career night and 5 for 7 mark from beyond the arc leading the Rams in scoring. And on the defensive end, Roddy's career-high 14 rebounds led the charge for the other side of the ball. From the get-go, CSU got off to a strong start, jumping out to a 14-4 lead, but the Lobos battled back to tie the game at 20 midway through the first quarter. Luckily for Ram fans, though, Coach Medved's squad was quickly able to settle down turning on the burners and catapulting themselves on a 21-2 run. With this steady pace of points, CSU went into the half with a 47-31 lead, and from there, they never looked back, dominating out of the break and finishing the contest going 35 of 66 from the floor for an impressive 53% field goal percentage, while also adding 9 buckets from beyond the three-point line. And with the victory over New Mexico, the Rams sit at 14-3 in conference play, which is the most conference wins in a single season in CSU men's basketball history. This is record-breaking mark put CSU at second place in the Mountain West, only one victory away from securing both the second seed and a critical first-round bye in the Mountain West tournament next week. But before they can think about heading to the tourney, the Rams must first think about the task at hand, a trip down to Reno for a battle with the Nevada Wolfpack tomorrow night at 7. The madness of March is now upon us, and if Coach Medved's young team wants to go dancing, it's put up or shut up time. One loss could spell another early end to the season, while continuing to rack up the victories could all but cement CSU's place among the national conversation. Only the next few weeks will tell how it all plays out. Well, Ram fans, that's all the sports action I have for tonight's show. I'll see you next week from the 2021 Mountain West Women's Basketball Tournament down in Las Vegas. But don't go away just yet. Tom Isaacson is up next with all the spice and entertainment.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going, Rams? My name is Tom Isaacson, and I'm here to be the gatekeeper for the world of entertainment. So let's get started. And to kick off entertainment news, as hopes for normal continue, Red Rocks might be coming back, with limited capacity, of course. Denver Arts and Venues has asked the Colorado Health Department to allow 2,500 people to attend concerts this spring and summer, with a potentially larger capacity available later on. If this request is approved, Red Rocks could operate at 1/4 of its full capacity and allow live music to come back at one of the greatest amphitheaters the country has ever had. Seeing those photos makes me so hopeful and excited to go back. Now, I like a good story, especially life stories that give you lessons to learn, which is exactly what Diana Dinshaw had in mind. Dinshaw, along with 4 others, hosted a live stream this evening, telling the stories of their lives growing up and all the lessons they learned. Speakers joined from all over the country to share their experiences with highs and lows that life throws at kids. Hearing people's suggestions on how they've overcome challenges can be especially helpful during these stressful times. All right, I love dining out, maybe a little too much. And because we've been in the pandemic for about a year now, I'm kind of getting tired of takeout or delivery. But in-person dining could be coming back and revolutionized with this.
It has been nearly a year since the world halted to a standstill, and dining at your favorite restaurant is now a distant memory. Until something changed with the Nook.
My girlfriend and I were eating at the Regional. They've got a really cool little trailer there, and I was kind of thinking like this should be something available for every restaurant.
The Nook started construction just about a month ago and was constructed over 3 tiresome weeks, but now it's here.
I think the biggest thing that we can offer is like a totally secluded dining experience. It's just you and your party. There's only one table. And so I think, I can't promise its safety, obviously, but, there's nobody else that you're sharing this experience with.
I love it. It's creative. During the pandemic, we've had to try and find those creative solutions to get people in and make them feel comfortable.
The Nook has been at a wide variety of restaurants and is getting booked all the time, so you can expect more restaurants in the future.
I think for us, there's definitely going to be some aspect of this business that I think continues even after, maybe people are vaccinated. I think there are going to be people who are slow to feel comfortable in an in-person dining situation.
Yeah, it's like a private dining experience.
Yeah, you don't have to, if it's often too loud.
I like playing my own music.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, this really is the way to dine.
That is so cool! Fort Collins has such creative and inventive people in it. I love seeing stuff like this. If you want to dine in the Nook, follow their Instagram at Nook_dining and call ahead to the restaurant to reserve the space for up to 6 people. Now, to any longtime Colorado residents, did you know your driver's license has a photo on it? No, not your photo, the one faintly in the background. Well, it's changing, and this is what it will look like. Gabriel Dupont of Wellington, Colorado won the contest held by the state, and his photograph will be featured on the backside of new driver's licenses. The photo is of Sprague Lake, and I have to say it is quite an excellent shot. Well done, Gabriel. Okay, before we go, how many people out there go downhill biking? Don't raise your hand, I can't see you, but I love downhill biking. I'm no professional. I enjoy doing just simple green and blue runs, and I thought I was pretty courageous. Until I went on the internet this week, and I found this. No way am I brave enough for that. Like I said, green and blue runs are my home turf, but props to that guy. That was pretty cool. And the 360 camera to stabilize the footage, we gotta get one of those. And with all that, Rams, it is time to end. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Be sure to catch the sports show on Monday. My name is Tom Isaacson. Have a great night.